So the US has seized a second oil tanker off Venezuela's coast and says it's pursuing a third. But is any of this legal? Let's look. It comes down to, firstly, US sanctions, and they're complex. The core sanctions relate to US measures under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Basically, the US declares an emergency which gives OFAC, the Treasury Department's super powerful Office of Foreign Assets Control, the authority to freeze assets and restrict transactions. With regards to Venezuela, that's been used on and off since 2015. It's not the only country. The US's most severe sanctions target Iran and Cuba. Primary sanctions ban individuals and businesses from directly trading with a person or an entity under those sanctions. For example, a US citizen can't transfer Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, $100. If they did, they could face hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines and possible jail time. Now, secondary sanctions create a broad net, and they target non-US citizens and businesses with penalties if they engage in transactions with sanctioned entities. Remember, a lot of global businesses have branches in the US and trade in US dollars, so the US has been able to threaten and fine businesses into compliance. For example, in 2014, the US fined France's largest bank, BNP Paribas, $9 billion because it facilitated US dollar transfers to Sudan, Iran, and Cuba while they were under sanctions. Back to Venezuela and the tankers. Maritime law deems a vessel can be legally captured on the high seas if it's subject to UN Security Council resolutions, is considered stateless, is not flying a flag of any nation, or is a pirate ship. The first tanker the US seized, the Skipper, was sanctioned by the US and was allegedly flying the flag of Guyana, which is how the US justifies that seizure. You see, sanctions have caused some shipping lines and countries to try to cover their tracks. Just last week, Al Jazeera filmed these ghost ships passing by Singapore. They change names, flags, and turn off transponders to evade detection. Now, the second tanker the US seized is alleged to have done the same thing. Regardless of what legalities the US claims, Venezuela and others say the whole thing is legitimized piracy carried out by the powerful over the powerless.